Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Whiskey in the Woods with Plowboy. I'll be your host, Plowboy. Today, as promised, we're going to run some 45 Colt black powder. And yeah, I'm doing it out of the 1872 open top. I had a few people want me to do it out of the 1873 Cimarron's 7th Cavalry, which I haven't shot much. And I believe this one's got just a little bit tighter barrel cylinder gap. From looking at them, eyeballing them, I didn't put the feeler gauges on it. So I'm going to shoot it out of this one. Plus, this one's a little easier to clean. You knock the wedge out, clean everything like you would a black powder pistol. It's pretty easy. So that's what I feel like doing today. But we got a 7.5 inch barrel, so we're going to find out what it'll run out of this. Now these loads that are in it are they're not mine, but I did load them. 40 grains of 3F black powder. This is GoX made, Graphs branded from, I don't remember, it's been a couple years ago or more that I bought this powder. To tell you the truth, I can't recall how long it's been, but I do know that it was made by GoX. So it probably won't run as much as it would, of course, if it was Swiss or, you know, Charmin or Bounty or whatever toilet paper burns the best. Yeah, you knew I was going to get that in there eventually, didn't you? And we're going to see what it runs through the chronograph, across the Athlon chronograph, which is, might I say, performing excellently. I'm enjoying the heck out of that, or at least I was when I was shooting. Let's get on with the chronograph testing. Y'all went back home, got my earball protection. I'd forgot it, so maybe that's all I need. Let me set her up real quick. Make y'all wait a second. Putting in a 255 grain bullet. We are ready to go. Without further ado, let's shoot over here into this wood pile at about 20-25 yards and see what happens. Oh, that says 784. That ain't good. $801. 753. 790. 763. Y'all, that's a whole lot less than what I expected. Average of 778. Well, that ain't nowhere near what I expected these to run. But then again, they don't feel like they're recoiling that hard. So I'm thinking there's a difference in when they're loaded up fresh and when they've been sitting there a while. But you know what? I brought water jugs. I put them up. I don't care if it ain't running 800 foot per second average. We fixing to see what it will run, or how many jugs it will penetrate. I really didn't think that was recoiling like it should, though. I know I ain't losing that much at the cylinder gap. Oh well, enough excuses. Let's see what it does through water jugs. And yeah, I can see the bow in my wood plank now, right down through there. It's the first time I've really noticed it, so that's probably why I'm losing some of my angle when I go to shoot it. So we're still gonna see what it'll go through, even though it ain't putting out much feet per second. And I'm thinking that what I need to do is load up some fresh and see how that compares. Let's put it through water jugs and see what happens just for the hell of it, since we're here. Well, I run out the side of the jug. We're going to try that again. All right, take two. That 7 jugs that ran out the side. I'm gonna come get y'all and we'll look at it this time and see what happened this time. Remember now, we had less than 800 feet per second average. We'll figure that out later. All right, we have one here on the end, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think a too low, did something wrong, powder might not be as good as I thought. Because I know out of a 7.5 inch barrel, that should be between 950 and 1,000, maybe a hair more. So maybe the Graph's branded powder from several years ago ain't as good as it once was, or ain't as good as I thought it was. Go figure. But y'all, that's what we got. That's what happened. And as you can see, a 255 grain hard cast bullet. I'm going to say the Brunel hardness on those is somewhere around 18 to 20. You can see that we still got 12 jugs. Now, you think about it that way, that's still impressive. And it kind of backs up what I was talking about before, or at least in my mind, it suggests that maybe, just maybe, that you really don't have to have a whole lot of velocity with a hard cast bullet of a decent weight to do a lot of penetrating. I think 12 water jugs with less than 800 foot per second average, that's still respectable. Guess what we're gonna do now? I'm gonna go home and test a few more of these off camera, and if I load up some fresh 40 grain out of that same bullet and it still don't run any more than 800 foot per second, I'm going to order some different powder. And I know in the past I've had them that kicked more than that, was recoil more than that. So I'm thinking that something's going on with my powder. Either that wasn't that good a powder, or else. And that's been, that powder, those first loads have been sitting in that gun for a few years. No, they're out of a batch that I made a few years ago. After my last video down there on our property, where I shot this gun a few times on camera, I did reload it after I cleaned it with some different loads. But I've been keeping them in a one of those clear containers from a China mart that's got a screw-on lid. It's supposed to be pretty airtight, so it's been kept in the house and climate controlled, well climate controlled, warm in the winter and cooling in the summer. So go figure. We'd get us some different powder and try some good powder. I'm still not motivated to make my own just yet. All right, y'all, I came back to the house. Couldn't handle that less than 800 foot per second average. Even though 12 water jugs, it ran out the side of the corner of the 12th one on that. Even though that's respectable, that velocity is bothering me because it should be more than that. So I've came back home and I've loaded up 5 fresh rounds, 40 grains of that 3F Graph's branded GoX made powder. It's been in the plastic bottle in there in the living room for a long time, so it hadn't had a bullet with lube sitting in it or nothing like that. I'm gonna see if that's got anything to do with it, with why those others were slow. I want to know, because if that powder is that much slower, then I don't want to buy it again. See what we find out here. All right, make sure I'm aimed the right way. Put a 5 into this dirt mound and see if they're better. Nope, 782.2. 743.4. 770. 807. And 757. Y'all, I'm not too happy with that. So do a little figure in here. I don't believe there's any reason in the world to think that it's going to run any better out of a different gun, because the cylinder gap on this one looks pretty good. Looks really good. And it's a 7.5 inch barrel. It fits the throats in this good. This bullet does. Fits the throats and it fits the bore good. So I don't think it's the gun. It wasn't the freshness of the load. So the powder keeps once it's loaded in a case. At least that's my take. I'm thinking it might be the quality of the powder starting out with. So I'd like to say now we know, but now I got more questions. We'll figure it out. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching.